Hi, welcome to Parent Alienation is Child Abuse Unfiltered. Thank you all for being here today and welcome to all the new subscribers. I thank you all and appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to do a quick discussion on why I think narcissistic people are narcissistic. In my opinion, I believe narcissistic people are like they are is due to a jealousy problem. They are jealous of their partners. They're jealous of their children. They're jealous of anything that doesn't revolve around them. You see, narcissistic people like to be the centre of attention. They like to be the ones in control, the ones pulling the strings. If you're raised by a narcissist and you don't have access to a loving, nurturing other parent, then narcissism is all you know. So therefore you'll grow up and become a narcissist yourself until someone pulls you up on it, or you get the touch of what life's like without being hostile and nasty to people, because it's quite possible that you can have a good relationship without being nasty. Nasty only breeds nasty. I believe these narcissistic parents are jealous of their children when they go to visit their other loving parent, be it the mother, be it the father, and the kids come home bubbly, excited and wanting to share the experience they've just had at their other parent's house, only to be chastised and criticised and have to be verbally ear-bashed by the other parent, by just how horrible that person was and how that person never really cared about them. And this is the classic narcissistic behaviour. As I've said before, you could write a book with these people and they'd all have similar traits, similar mannerisms and similar outlooks on life. Their outlook on life revolves around them being centre of attention. The children of a narcissistic parent, well, they spend their life being on edge. They spend their whole time not wanting to make waves with this narcissistic person. Particularly if this is the only person in their life, if they don't have access to their other loving parent, be it the mother, be it the father. They don't want to be on the other end of receiving the hatred or the bitterness from this narcissistic person. And it comes from jealousy. As I've said before, kids go over to their other loving parent and have a great time, and they come home and want to share their excitement on what a great time they've just had. And the parents should be equally excited for that child to have a good time, because the ultimate goal is to have a happy, healthy child with a happy, healthy relationship with both parents in their lives. Unless I've said before, there is a proven reason why the child shouldn't have access to either the mother or the father, but it has to be a proven one. My channel specifically focuses on parents that withhold children out of spite. And there's a hell of a lot that going on in this world right now. It's an epidemic. Every second person you talk to, or every second person you meet, knows somebody or knows a child or is experiencing it themselves. It's ridiculous, and it's something that doesn't need to happen. That's the thing. This doesn't need to happen. These children don't need to be victims of a narcissistic person who's jealous of someone else's happiness or someone else's success. These children end up spending their lives, like I said, on edge. They don't get to be happy. They don't get to go out and just be kids and have fun. Play, make a rowdy noise, make a bit of a mess. Kids make mess when they when they play. They make noise when they play. But unfortunately, narcissistic people don't see it like that. They say, "Oh, look at all the mess you're making. Oh, do you have to be so loud all the time?" They just, they really shouldn't have kids, actually. They shouldn't have kids. And in my other video I'd put out about relationships, how people rush out into relationships and forget that sometimes relationships don't always work out, so therefore these people become hostile and angry. Relationships don't work out, that's just part of life. Life's full of up and downs, and unless you know how to navigate that or how to deal with that properly, you're not going to have a very happy future. And if you've been robbed of that because your parents are narcissistic, and you've been alienated by one parent and you're stuck with a narcissistic parent, and there's no one out looking out for you, then these poor kids are set up for failing. They're set up to have relationship issues, trust issues, school issues, focus issues. There's a whole range of things that go with this parent alienation that affects these children. And like I've said before, I believe these people are like they are. One, because they haven't been shown anything better, or never been held accountable for anything they've done. That's a big thing. Oh, narcissists never get held accountable. They always play victim. They're very good at playing victim. Oh, don't go mad at me. I'm in a bad way. Oh, don't go mad at me. He was my partner and oh, he was horrible. Oh, feel sorry for me. Oh, she was my partner and she was horrible. She did everything wrong. Don't rush out. Don't rush out and get involved in a relationship. And the highest thing I can stress, and I can never stress it enough, is don't rush out and have a child. Don't rush out and have a child. Build your relationship slowly. Get to know the person you're with. Get to know who they are. Get to know the pros and cons of that person. Get to know how these people handle rejection. Get to know how these people are when they're angry. Because you can never have good without bad. There's always an opposite to what you see. And the only way you're going to truly know how a person it is if you see all sides of that person. The good, the bad, the ugly. Like, we all have these traits. Everybody has them. Some people are just a little bit more over the top than others. And these narcissistic people enjoy the hurt and the pain they cause on others, even if it's their own child. They don't care. They say to people they care, but they don't care. All they care about is attention, and that can be good attention or bad attention. But mainly it's the victim attention. I'm a victim. Feel sorry for me. Oh, I fell off the bike and hurt myself again. Feel sorry for me. Oh, I was riding while I was broken, but that's okay. Feel sorry for me. Oh, I'm an angry, aggressive person. I'll punch somebody in the street just for looking at me the wrong way. But hey, feel sorry for me because they did look at me the wrong way. These people are full of excuses for their behaviour and not being held accountable for what they've done, which is 99% of the time that these people will do it because they're not held accountable and nobody will stand up to them. Everybody's scared of these people. Like, they're only people. They're no different to you and me. They just use words differently and try to hurt people with lies. They spread false truths. They lie to everybody. Anything that will make them look like they're the poor victim and that they will get a sympathy act from anybody around them. But in the end, these people are the ones that are going to be left alone. Because in the end, these kids grow up and these kids realise exactly what their parents like. As I've stated before, I've seen children, older children, 9, 10, 13, 14, they see what their parents like, be it the mother, be it the father. They see the narcissistic traits. They see the reaction people give them. They see that nobody wants to be around them. Nobody wants to be around them. Nobody wants to associate with them. Because you never know if they're going to turn on you. These people are not one to be trusted. Don't open up your secrets or your darkest hidden things inside you, because these people will use anything against you. If you have pain and trauma in your childhood and you tell these people about it, then you can get guaranteed that will get thrown in your face down the track. Yep, narcissistic people are a whole new level of people. And I believe that it all stems back to they're jealous. They're jealous and self-centered. And they don't care who they hurt. They don't care if it's their family. They don't care if it's their children. As long as they get the sympathy that they are searching for, or the "oh, you poor thing" that they're searching for. But that'll run out one day. People wake up. People realise exactly who these people are. And they end up old and alone. Old and alone. And wonder why. which is the funny thing. They wonder why. What did I do wrong? I did everything for you. I did it all for you guys, you kids. Yeah, I treated you like shit. I withheld you from your mother or your father because I cared about you. Yeah, what a load of crock. You cared about the kid. You'd want them to have a happy, loving relationship with with both parents. Kids need both parents in their lives. They need the love and care that comes from a mother most times, and the love and security that comes from a father most times. But if your mother's a narcissistic cow, that all she does is hurt as many people as she can as she gets hold of, and using children as weapons. One mother's done it more than once with, she's had other children to other people and has done it to each father. And I've known fathers that do the same thing. Fathers treat their children like their property because couldn't have that child loving anybody else more than they could love them, could they? No. This is the jealousy thing. They want to be the self-centered of the whole universe of everybody. And when that doesn't happen, then they turn on you. You criticize them, they turn on you. You hold them accountable, they turn on you, then they start lies. They start saying stuff you've done. These narcissists will go to the extreme of actually making false lies up about domestic violence, sexual abuse. All this stuff comes out once you hit court. I've known parents that have been fighting in court, and they've been fighting in court for a while, like a year and a half. And then after a year and a half, with no access to the children, mind you, that suddenly new things get thrown in there into the paperwork. Oh, that's right, they were domestically violent toward me, a he or a she, because domestic violence works both ways. Don't believe it's just for women, that women get beat up, and don't believe that men just get beat up. It happens on both sides. I've known women that beat men. I've seen incidents and scratch marks all over guys that have had so-called women that betray themselves as victim turn into nasty little cat scratches. And I've had men that equally as bad. There are men that use their weight and their muscle on women, and I don't condone any of that. No one has the right to lay their hands on anybody else for any reason. Relationship doesn't work out, walk away. You don't have the right to do that. And this happens in front of kids. This one woman that used to beat the shit out of her husband or her partner, they weren't married, they were just partners, would do it on a regular basis. And the common denominator in this? Alcohol and drugs. Yeah, they wipe themselves out stupid, and then the arguments start. Then shit starts getting thrown around the house. Then they start laying into each other. She'll walk up and start slapping into him, and natural reactions to hit back, because you have a right to defend yourself. Where are the kids? Sitting there watching it all. Or on the phone in the bedroom crying to their auntie or their nana or their poppy or somebody what to do. We're scared. My advice to any kid that's in that situation, if you're in a situation where your parents are fighting and they're physical and you're scared, pick up the phone. In Australia we have O here. Overseas I think they have a 911 emergency thing. Pick up the phone. Don't be scared to dob your parents in. I've told this to many children that have rang me crying and scared because their parents are fighting and they're throwing things and punching each other in front of little kids. I've told them, you go in the room, you shut that door, and you pick up the phone and you call the police and tell them you're scared your mum and dad are fighting. Parents might not like you for this, but friggin' hell, those kids are safe, and that's the priority. The parents might not give a damn about what the kids are exposed to or what they're watching. They're just angry and wrapped up in their own pissed off mind, drunk or out of their heads on whatever drugs they're taking at the time, and then get into an altercation or an argument over something stupid usually. Oh, you burnt the bread. Oh no, you've spilt that cuppa. Oh, let's have an argument. Oh, kids, hey, gather around. Let's watch mum and dad have a screaming match. Yeah, great parenting. Narcissistic people I'd like to see if there was an educational way we could change that. I believe narcissistic people could be changed if they were held accountable more often by judges, by schools, by just people that are involved with the children, that they have to look after these children after they're exposed to the stuff they're exposed to. Half these people don't even know the stuff the kids are exposed to. These kids go to school and are portrayed as naughty kids because of their outbursts, or their lashing out at people, or their lack of concentration in class. Oh, they're just misbehaving. They're just misbehaving. Couldn't be a simple fact that they're dealing with issues at home that are affecting their mind, affecting their stability. No, just label them as a naughty child. Let's go to the doctor, put them on some drugs while we're at it, hey? Let's set them up to be an addict when they're older. Yeah. Well, let's just not discuss the psychological issues that these kids may be facing and try to deal with that. Let's just shove drugs down their throat and what's the word? Tranquilise them, basically. Give them tranquilizers to calm them down. The problem's still there. Parents are still arguing. Parents are still drinking, taking drugs, with little care about the kids in their lives, or what they're exposed to, or how they're feeling about what's going on. And these narcissistic people that get into these arguments and fights will then go away with the child and turn around and tell that child how horrible that other person is, be it the mother, be it the father. Oh, he's so horrible. Oh, she's so horrible. You shouldn't go with them. You shouldn't go and visit them. That's another thing. Narcissistic people feel betrayed. If their child goes to see their other parent, be it the mother, be it the father, and they have a great time, as I've said before, they come back really excited about what they've done. These narcissistic people feel betrayed. And they push that onto the child, be mannerisms, be withholding love, silent treatment, verbal abuse, physical abuse. It all happens. As I said in my last video, these kids end up pushed into a corner where they don't speak about their other parent anymore. Everything's kept inside. We all know what happens if you keep stuff inside too long. Eventually it will bubble up and pop. Hence when these kids get into teenage years and their questions and their isolation is getting to a point where it's going to erupt. And these teenagers erupt in different ways. They erupt in verbal aggression, physical aggression. They can meet up with other kids and get into trouble. Or there's the polar opposite, where they withdraw into themselves, they hate themselves, and they just shut down. Because narcissistic people, whether they know it or not, they make these kids feel guilty. These kids grow up feeling guilty for everything they do, for everything that the narcissistic parent makes them feel bad for. And 9 times out of 10, that's for wanting to see their other parent, for wanting to see the extended families. These narcissistic parents are jealous of that. They don't want these kids to be happy with somebody else. They only want them to be happy with them. The thing is, they're not happy. They're miserable. And these narcissistic people are blind to that fact because they're too wrapped up in their own world. As I've said before, kids don't ask to be born in this world. You bring them here. And therefore you have a responsibility to raise that child to be a happy, healthy, productive adult. So there they can go forth and have their own children and have a happy, productive life themselves with their own family. Not repeat the circle that they've had to grow up in with a narcissistic parent, be it mother, be it father, that's made them feel bad or guilty for wanting to be with the other parent, for wanting to see the other parent, for even receiving a birthday card or a Christmas card from the other parent. These narcissistic parents have their nose put out as I've said before, I've known cases where the kids don't even receive that stuff, then get told, oh no, they didn't send you anything, they don't care about you, they don't remember birthdays, they don't remember Christmas, they didn't remember Easter, they don't care. I told you they don't care. Your parents don't give a damn about you. Then this goes into their adult life. I've known of adults that have lived their whole life with guilt. The guilt that was pushed onto them by their parent. Then that affects their relationships down the line. They can't build trust with people. They can't build bonds with people. How do you do that when your own parents betrayed you and made you lose that trust that you should have? Unfortunately, these people don't think about that. These people are just self-centered people. And whether you believe in karma or not, I'm a strong one believing in karma. I don't believe in using my energy for revenge. I don't use my energy in a hostile way. My energy is too precious for me to waste it on somebody that's not worth wasting it on. I'll put as much energy as I can into a child that needs my love or my care or my attention. That's a definite. That's not even a second thought. That would just, if you need me, I'm there. But narcissistic people don't say that. They don't do that. Their actions prove louder than their words. And that's a common fact. Actions always prove louder than words. As I said once before, these kids don't learn by what they're told. Kids learn by what they see and what they hear. And if you're telling your child all this horrible stuff about their other parent, and that they used to beat them or they used to hurt them, and these kids will remember how they felt about that. They will remember if they felt scared. They will remember if there was fear about being around these people. And because these are lies, a lot of times these kids don't have that fear. They don't have that in them because it's not there. Nothing happened to them. They're just false memories that have been planted by a poisonous person. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop. These kids are innocent. As I've said before, it's not a good thing to hook up with somebody and then rush out and have a baby when you don't know who they are or what they're like. And most narcissistic people show their traits in the first 6 months of their relationship. They'll start showing red flags, and you need to be open for the red flags. I've had videos before where I've said about the red flags. You need to pay attention to that. But the most important thing I can stress, and I can't stress it enough, is don't have a child. Don't rush out and have a child. Meet a partner, yes. Build a relationship, yes. Be intimate, yes, but use protection. Use protection. Don't be naive to believe that she's on the pill or she's got protection if you're a man. And if you're a woman, then use protection anyway, because even if you're on the pill, because it doesn't always work. And I'd be using a condom because you don't know who that person slept with, and there's so many diseases out there nowadays. You don't know what you'd be bringing home. So just go slow. Go slow. Life's not going anywhere. Not unless you're risky and make stupid decisions. Just take things slowly. And you'll be happier in the long run. You'll be in a happy, strong, stable relationship with both partners on the same page. Same page about bringing up children. Same page about different things in the world. If you're not on the same page and you argue quite a bit about opposites, then take it as a red flag. Because when you bring a child into the mix, then things could change quite a lot. And kids know how to work parents too. I've known kids that been raised by narcissistic people that get enjoyment out of starting arguments with people. It happens. Like I said, if you're raised by a narcissistic person and narcissism is the only thing you know, then that's all you'll be when you go out into the world until someone pulls you up or you get shown something different. Well, I'm going to leave it there today, guys. Hope I didn't babble too much on this one. Dealing with narcissistic people is a bit of a hard thing to navigate. And all I can suggest, if you're with somebody that's trying to manipulate you into doing stuff or making you feel uncomfortable, take it as a red flag. Take it as a red flag. If they're stopping you from seeing your family, then take that as a huge red flag. Because there's nothing that says you have to stay with somebody that makes you feel unsafe or worried. Because relationships are meant to be happy and nurturing and loving together. There's no one in the relationship that is better than the other one. And there should be nobody working in the relationship to please the other one more so. If that's the case, then there's something wrong with the relationship. Relationships should be equal, 50-50. Each one looking after each one and wanting the best for each one. Not one working harder than the other one. And if you're with someone who's threatening, because I've known that before too, that they use scare tactics to try to keep you there, just find a safe way to get out of that. Because I've had that, been told about that before too, where a young girl was trapped with a young man and his narcissistic family, and he would quite often threaten to burn her parents' house down or poison her parents' animals or actually go and kill her parents if she left him. These are some of the traits these lovely narcissistic people like to use to control their victims, be it the mother, be it the father. A narcissistic woman was much the same. Every time the young man wanted to leave or go home, there'd be threats made. Her threats were against her or her children. Or her children would just end up sick, mysteriously end up sick. You've got to come home now. We've got to go to the hospital. Got to question that one, don't you? Got to question the hospitals that deal with these kids that get taken in there on a regular basis, sick. Yeah. A lot of questions out there I'd like answered. Because a lot of stuff could be stopped if the right people stepped in the first place. Anyway, going to leave it there today, guys. Thank you all again for being here. Again, I welcome the new subscribers. I thank you all. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, I'd welcome you to do so. Let's get this, get a conversation started about parent alienation and the trauma and hurt that it does. And I'll catch you in my next one, guys. Stay safe.